Hello, my name is Dana. I'm a health coach, certified personal trainer, and licensed cosmetologist. I'm a fan of natural remedies and less toxic ingredients in my cosmetics. I like to research products and ingredients and share my findings with you. As always, the links to my sources will be in the description. With that said, let's dive in. Today's product is also today's ingredient, castor oil. Why I chose castor oil. A little backstory. I'm not anti-prescription medication. I do see the value in, modern medicine. Except sometimes if there is a more holistic, natural remedy that I can use, I will try it. And if it works, even better. I've noticed a lot of people in the holistic wellness world seems to just be touting the benefits of castor oil and how they use it for everything from weight loss, like putting it in their belly buttons, to helping with stretch marks and digestion and liver issues. It's like everywhere. At least it probably came up in my feed because I've been looking at it. And I was like, that is like old school. My dad used to talk about how he was forced to drink that as a kid back in the, 50s or so. And I used to watch Little Rascals or Our Gang, and one of the characters was drinking that, and he ended up switching it with his corn syrup, and it's a whole thing. If you know the episode, you know what I'm talking about. But I was like, that's not new. So I thought I would look into it and share that with my viewers. The official name of the plant is Ricinus communis L., also known as Palma Christi, and that comes from the ancient Romans, because they thought it was a miracle product, and they called it the palm of Christ because the leaves, I guess, look like a hand, the palm of a hand, something like that. The origin of cultivation is in Africa, South America, India. Castor oil production is mainly in Brazil, China, and India, with India being the main exporter of castor oil. The plant grows in tropical and subtropical areas. Apparently, the warm temps lead to a high oil content in the actual beans, and that's what's harvested, the castor beans, and they're either expressed, like pressed, or extracted by solvent extraction, or by a combination of the two, mechanical pressing and solvent extraction. The oil that's extracted is what we find on the market today. The use of castor oil actually goes all the way back to ancient Egypt, even about 24,000 years ago. It has also been used in traditional Chinese medicine, Ayurveda, as well as in the Caribbean. It has been used to treat all kinds of ailments, from digestive issues like constipation, liver and gallbladder pains, skin problems, burns, hair loss, even maternal issues, such as childbirth, and believe it or not, helping with milk production. It was also used as a moisturizer. Now, I mentioned that in the Depression era days, they gave castor oil to children, but it turns out here in the United States, it also goes back to like the pioneer times. The pioneers would make sure to carry certain items with them across the country for their long trips, and castor oil was one of the substances that they were suggested to carry so that if somebody fell sick or had some kind of digestion problem, they would give that to that person, child or adult. It would help them. Unless you were a doctor traveling across the country to the West, you were on your own. So you had to deal with your own medical afflictions yourself. So they did what they had to do. So, as I mentioned before, the castor bean comes from the ricin, communis owl plant. What does that sound like to you? If you thought ricin, you'd be correct. Once the oil is extracted, the waste material is left over, and people have found that they could take the mash that's left over and process it in a way to make ricin. It can be turned into a powder, a mist, or a pellet, and it's usually used by unsavory people for certain not so good outcomes. I won't get into it, but if you're interested, you can check out the link I've included. It also has, which goes into what ricin has been used for in the past and what some people wanted to use it for, but I'm not going to talk about it, but you can check out the link or Google it yourself. And believe it or not, castor oil also has other uses, such as it's in soaps, waxes, fuels, lubricants, polymers, and also in coatings. Despite castor oil being used in many areas of the world by many different cultures for thousands of years, science, at least in this country, science hasn't really caught up with that. And so they haven't verified the validity of the many uses that people have found for castor oil. Will they ever test out this ingredient? I don't know, probably not. But until they do, we really can't find out if everything that castor oil is used for is actually as beneficial as people are talking about. The only thing that the FDA here in the United States has concluded is that castor oil can be used as a laxative for like colonoscopy prep or constipation. But on the other hand, it's also said that there are other medications or preparations that are safer or less taxing on the digestive system than castor oil. And like I said, as for the other uses, gallbladder, pain or discomfort, weight loss, labor induction, hair growth, etc., those are all based on what people swear by. Now, there's something called the placebo effect, where a person believes that something's working the way they were told it would work and expecting it to, and they're like, oh, it's working. But in all actuality, you don't really know. Could that be why so many people swear by castor oil? Possibly. Or maybe it does really work, just as the users claim it does. But unfortunately, we don't have any official scientific studies to back them up. So until we get that, I guess it's what your experience, I guess you have to go off of what you're experiencing and maybe what other people are saying they've experienced. I like to dive into concerns. What is a good ingredient dive without talking about the concerns? Although ricin poisoning is a major concern, unless you're eating castor beans whole, which you're not supposed to do because that's how you can get poisoned, or you have some like really gnarly enemies that want to I didn't put that as the number one concern. I mean, I'm not saying it's not, but more than likely, the concern is going to be digestive issues. Castor oil has been shown to be a bit harsh on the digestive system. So if you take an amount that's a little bit too much or maybe too often, you may experience diarrhea, vomiting, cramping, and stomach pains. If you use it on hair, some people who have really thick hair and use it on a routine basis, like constantly, may want to be careful because something called felting happens, and that's when the hair like mats. Just think like dreadlocks. If you see a person with dreadlocks and their hair looks like matted and just like felt, I guess. That's what felting is. So unless you want to have dreadlocks, then you can always use castor oil to increase the felting and get bigger or more dreadlocks or get it quicker. But if that's not the look you're going for, then you might want to use something else or not use it. For skin applications, like if people want to use it as a facial moisturizer, it's been shown to cause some acne breakouts. So again, if you want to try it, just know that could happen. Pregnant women will definitely want to stay away from it. It's been known to, or it's been used to try to induce pregnancy in women. So definitely stay away from it. As always, make sure you speak with your medical professional when taking supplements, including castor oil. $1 million question, should you use it? It's completely up to you. Of course, like I said, I just said it a bit ago. As always, check with your medical professional to see if it's something that would cause an adverse reaction or just would not be good for you. If you do decide to embark on some kind of a castor oil treatment, I would think it would be a good idea to keep a diary. For instance, if I were to use castor oil, I would log everything, even if it's not related to the specific outcome that you're using it for. So like an example would be like if I was like, oh, I hear it's for weight loss if you put it in your belly button. I didn't get like how that works in your belly button. I looked it up and I didn't see anything that was like a specific action of why you would put it in your belly button and expect weight loss. So again, because it hasn't been studied, so it's not like, oh, here's a scientific reason as to why you're gonna lose weight if you put it in your navel. I don't know. So like I said, if I was going to use it for weight loss, thinking I was going to use it for weight loss by putting it in my navel, I would want to document every single thing, including diet, like what I'm eating, what I've cut out, sodium usage, my sleep, how much water I'm drinking, my exercise activity level. Did I say that? I don't remember. Any other supplements I'm taking, stress levels, everything, because I'm a woman, like my monthly cycle, like you want to keep everything documented. And then after I've used it for a while, and say, I lost 5 pounds or whatever, document whatever results that I'm seeing. And then I would want to stop using the castor oil, but keep everything or try to maintain everything else that I had documented the exact, or try to keep it as close to the exact same way as I was doing it before, just so that the only thing that was changed was the castor oil usage. And then go back and see, did anything change with the castor oil or not? Because I don't know, I've never tried it. So that would be like conducting a mini scientific experiment. But again, because every person is different, if you find after your thorough research and study on yourself that it worked, you can mention it to other people, just tell them what you did, but it might not work for the other person. So again, mini scientific experiment on yourself, but doesn't go for everybody else. So until science decides to research castor oil for all these other uses, we are all our own guinea pigs. Conclusion. I'm pretty neutral about castor oil. Everybody who talks about it seems to think it's like the absolute miracle, be all end all for anything that ails them. Is it? I don't know. Just because it hasn't been studied doesn't mean that it's not beneficial, but until it is studied, we really can't say. And like I said, I never used it, never really thought it'd be an amazing thing. So I don't care. I guess it's something I'd have to try and see for myself. It's really like a heavy oil from what I've read. And if you're going to use it, don't wear whites, or don't use it. If you're going to use it like a castor oil pack for like liver pains and you want to like lay down or something, or put in your navel and it would drip out, I don't know, and you're going to lay down with it, just put towels on your bed because it'll stain your sheets from what I've read, and your clothes. So that sounds messy. I don't like mess. I don't want to make anything messy because then I have to clean. I don't want to clean up anything that's oily. Anyway, I hope you found this helpful. Let me know in the comments section, have you used castor oil? Did you drink it as a kid, if you're around that age and you're watching it? Or if you were raised in a holistic household, were you forced to use it? Let me know. Thank you so much for watching, and keep an eye out for more videos on ingredients. I think my next video is going to be, a look at that. I also have to build my try and review series. You have a great rest of the day, and this is going out hopefully before Independence Day, so enjoy your 4th. Have a blessed day. Bye.